Welcome to Yeukai Business Show, UK's premier business show where we feature business thought leaders, high achievers, and industry experts. Today's episode is brought to you by World Outsourcing Solutions Limited, a company that specializes in helping executive business owners with virtual assistant services and business growth systems. Here's your host, Yeukai Kechidori.
Hi guys, it's so great to have you again on another episode, and with me today is DeShelia Spann, who is a marketing strategist, a certified professional coach, and a serial entrepreneur. I'm so excited to be having DeShelia here on the show because she's going to be talking to us on a subject that I think is very, very important right now when we are in moments of uncertainty. Now, DeShelia, thank you for joining us on the show.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited to have this discussion today.
Incredible. Now, I know you are a brand strategist, and today we want to talk about how can business owners craft a compelling brand story to put them head and shoulders above everyone else. Now, for those who have not yet come to know you or who haven't seen some of your work or have come to know some of the things you do, would you tell us who you are and what you've done?
Sure. So I have worked for the last over 15 years as a marketing strategist for some of the top Fortune 500 B2B companies. So I've had the pleasure of building brands, campaigns, and integrated marketing efforts that help businesses get ahead of their competition as well as set the tone for how they're going to grow and scale their business. And aside from that, I've had my own agency and photography business for a while, and also serve as a brand coach. So I work with a lot of small business owners, entrepreneurs, professionals who are really wanting to build their brand and to really get their brand message out into the audience.
Incredible. When people work with you, what are the usual things they say about your work? This is where you get to blow your own trumpet.
Well, I think anyone who gets a chance to work with me will find that my approach is I'm very passionate about what I do, and I'm very direct in giving, that insight and feedback that will help you. In a lot of cases, what I say about my clients, get unstuck. Get out of that space that they're in where they're thinking about what they need to do and actually put it in action. So I'm going to always push you to be different in your approach, to take you outside of your comfort zone. And for some of my clients, they'll tell you that could be a little scary, but getting out of their comfort zone is what helps them build their brand and grow their business. Another thing they will tell you is I bring my personality to every interaction. So that is one thing you'll get with me. And I feel like someone had to help me get where I'm going. And so I'm going to always be that resource to help them. So a lot of times my clients will say, oh, that's a lot of information that you're giving me, a lot of details, but it helps them in the long run as they see later down the road when you craft that brand up front with a strong foundation, then you scale and grow. But when you miss some of those key pieces, then you see where you have the gaps down the road as well.
Yes. You mentioned that somebody helped you along the way. Talk to us about that experience, how you ended up helping other people. What triggered you to want someone's help?
So as I was even, building my businesses, and my first business, because I have a passion for marketing and advertising, I started my career actually in news. Right. And so I went on to work in advertising, and I had a love for the creative side and said, okay, I want to take my talent for creativity and imagery, and I want to start a photography business. Right. And, I started it with this mindset of, oh, it's going to be easy. I take great pictures so people will come and, I'll make money. But no one told me about the business side. And so, I mentioned this to an established photographer that I knew. And that person said, let me take you to the side and really explain to you what it's like to have a photography business. And that's where I learned early on that the image taking was a small portion of what I did. It was the business side and the customer engagement and communications. And one of the big things I talk to my clients about now is the customer experience, because that is what really sets you apart from other brands that may have similar offerings. It's the experience. So when I had that person that kind of guided me in that first interaction, I found so much value in it. And then as I moved my career, I went back to graduate school, and then I came out and started working, in corporate as a, marketing strategist. What I learned was I always had individuals who would, what I call, kind of feed into my life and see that I had something unique about me, and they nurtured that, and they provided insights and values. And so I always say to people, there's 3 people you need in your life. You need a mentor, you need a sponsor, and you need an advocate. And those were the people that really helped me. And so as I started to give back and share with others, that was the catalyst for me going and becoming a certified coach, because I saw how powerful it was for me to have someone to give me those insights and guidance. And I wanted to do that for others.
I love what you said to me earlier on when we were just talking about helping others, that when you are helping others, you automatically help yourself. Is that true in your case?
It's absolutely true. And I feel like every interaction I have, if it's one-on-one coaching with a client or I'm doing a master class with a group of entrepreneurs, I come away feeling just as good about what I'm pouring into them as what they're getting from me, because it's that moment when you see them, the light bulb go off in their head, and they get it, and they see how they can push their business forward. They see the vision becoming a reality, and now they have the right insight and tools and resources to do that. For me to sit back and see it, and also to see a year later someone that I've worked with be highly successful in their business, seeing their business grow, seeing them get the attention they deserve for it, it gives me goosebumps, because I know that, like, I was able to help them, but also it validates just that nurturer and that giver in me.
Incredible. Absolutely incredible. One of the things that I get asked often, we talk about mentoring, and I'm glad you pointed that out. One of the questions that I get asked often is, if you have a mentor, can you still fail? What is your opinion on that?
That's a very good question. And my answer would be yes, you still can fail, because you can mentor someone for, 6 months, a year, or so forth, but you have to take that mentorship and you have to take those insights and information and put them into action. And that is true even for coaching. Because when I established the first coaching session with my clients, one of the things that we talk about is your accountability. So when they sign on for me, they get a welcome kit, and it tells them in the kit, here's what I promised to you, but also here's what you promised to me. Because you have got to do the work, as an individual going through that process to get the results you want. There's no easy road to this. And I'm very clear with clients, and when I speak with, at conferences and events, there's no easy road to this. You have to do the work. And so, you can have a mentor, you can have those individuals who pour into your life, but if you're not listening and you're not applying what you learned, you're going to stay in the same place.
You really do. Absolutely. You really do. Nothing happens until an action takes place. Truly is what happens. What has kept you going, in all these years in doing business? A lot of people start, they're on fire for 1 month, 2 months, some even a year, but it fizzles out. In your case, what has kept you on the path?
I think it's just something that was instilled to me probably growing up. My parents are huge advocates for giving back. They have always been huge volunteers. They've been what I call kind of servant leaders, in the sense that that's just in their DNA. And I think it's in mine and my siblings that we believe in giving back. And so even in business, we also, what was instilled with us is it's hard work, but you don't give up. And one of the things that I talk about a lot when I speak to young people is the fear of failure. Like, it's okay to fail. So what has kept me going is, if I started a venture and it didn't work, or I did something and I started, looking at, like, I'm going to offer this, I'm going to do this, and it didn't work. Instead of being down about why it didn't work, learn from that, get insight from it, and then do it better the next time. So I think one of the things that, we have to think about is, failure is okay. It's how you recoup from the failure and how you approach it better the next time. So it's always a mindset. You've got to have that mindset that, you know what, I can learn from what happened, and even you can learn from others' failures. I can learn from that, I can apply it, and I can do better the next time.
Indeed, absolutely true. One guest that I had on the show put it this way. He said, he did very well for himself. He said, I've discovered that when you fail, nothing happens. People will forget, people will forgive. They say, well, at least he's attempting to live his dreams. But the people who never actually get started, they never have the opportunity to fail. And if you are not failing, it means you're not starting anything new. There is no adventure there. So failure is an important part of life. Let's jump straight into our subject that we're talking about here today, on how business owners, especially those that are finding themselves in a situation where maybe they have to reinvent themselves or reinvent their business, how can they craft their brand story so that they can attract more customers? Maybe you could just give us a roadmap or a step-by-step process of creating that client-getting brand story.
It's so funny that you asked this question today, because I'm in the midst of a master class now that I do for 6 weeks called Rising Brands. So we are in the middle of this conversation. And one of the first things that I, tell businesses and brands is that, what is your why? And not, I got into business to make money. What is your why? Why are you passionate about what you're offering, what services you're promoting? What is the passion behind what you do? Because if you don't have a why, you'll never have a narrative, you'll never have a story. So you start with the why. Why is it important for you to have this type of business, offer this type of service, create this type of product? What is your why? And then the second part is that, what do you offer that makes your customer or client's life better? What are you doing to make it easier for people? And being that I've worked on the B2B side of business for so many years, one of the things that I've noticed that people get trapped in is, I have a product that does, and they'll name 5 features of the product, but none of those features or none of those offerings tell me how you make that person's life better. Because at the end of the day, people don't necessarily care about the secret sauce. They want the secret sauce to taste good.
Yes.
So what is it about what you offer that helps make their life better? And then what is it about your uniqueness that makes them want to work with you? Because you're going to come across brands that offer similar things to you, similar products. I mean, we're a big market, right? The world is just a marketplace of a lot of great ideas and theories, but it's a marketplace of where people have taken things that were built and made them better.
Yes.
So what's your unique experience that you give to someone that says, you know what, your product and someone else's product is the same, but I go with you because of this? So that's where I start with my clients is, tell me those things, write those things down. And then the next thing I say is, okay, now take that and give me your narrative. Give me your story based on your why, your how you make that person's life better, and then what makes you unique. And then once you have that tapped into, you want to then say, okay, so what is my tone? What is my brand voice? And I look at the brand voice as being how you speak to people, your emotion, your feelings. That's your tone. What is the tone of your company? Are you energetic? Are you straightforward? Are you humorous? Like, what are the things that give a tone to how you tell your story that's unique? And then how do you chart that? And so one of the things I use a lot with clients is the brand voice chart, which was created by the Content Marketing Institute. And what it says is, here's the adjectives that define who I am as a brand. So you may have 3 adjectives that define who you are. When I say those adjectives, this is the sentence that describes what it means about me. So, how do I describe that? And then also, what is it about my brand that I will do and I won't do? In my agency business, I have a set of values that I live by as a company, and we say we are ethical in what we do as a business, and we won't partner with other businesses that don't have the same ethical beliefs as us. That's one of our brand values, right? That's the thing about us that you will know. So that's also what I ask clients. Like, you got to create those. That's your foundation. When you know who you are and why you do what you do, how it makes somebody's life better, and then how you talk to your audience, that's your framework. And then from that framework, you can create your elevator pitches. And then you can also say, now, who am I targeting? Because that's the last piece that people get lost in. You're not for everybody. Who are you for? Who is your brand for? And you really have to look at how I target and who I'm going after. When you have those things in place, you have created a good, strong brand narrative and a story that the right person that's right for your brand will attach itself to. And so those are kind of those entry-level things that when I'm working with a brand, when we can narrow that down, we've got the framework.
Incredible. Now, suppose somebody hears this quite clearly and they still find themselves stuck as their coach. How do you get them unstuck? Say, for example, they're stuck on the why they're doing business. Would you walk them through that path? How do you go about doing that?
That's a good question, because I had a client this week that was stuck on it. Right. And she said, I can't figure out my why, and it's not helping me get to my elevator pitch. And as we started talking, she said to me, I'm so frustrated with how, in dealing with, she's in the real estate business and she does real estate investment. She said, in dealing with property management, property owners do this, this, and this. I've had experiences when I lease properties where this happened and this happened and this happened. And I stopped her. I said, so just pause and think about what you just said. You told me your why. You started your business because as a single mother, you wanted a different experience for other single mothers as you did, because you were dealing with property management systems that were built on these 3 things, and you wanted to build something different. And she said to me, oh, I never thought about it. I just told my story. I said, so imagine you're in front of a room and you're talking to potential, real estate investors, and you're talking about your target audience and who you want to go after. Your story is, I've been where you've been. I've experienced the frustrations. I built this company to help you move past that hurdle so you won't have to go through what I went through. And that's how I sometimes, when you're stuck, I just start to talk to you. I ask the questions. Tell me day one, what made you come up with like the name of your company? What made you decide you wanted to be in this business? So I start asking the questions that make them talk out loud about their experience. And when they do that, that's that aha of, oh, that's my why. And it can be as simple as, I had a product and I couldn't figure. I had an idea for something. I couldn't find the product anywhere, and I created it myself. But a lot of times we want to make the why so big. It doesn't always have to be this huge, humongous story. Sometimes it's as simple as I was looking around for something, I couldn't find it. I needed a fix for it. I created it myself.
Wow. Incredible. You make it so easy, and I'm sure the business owners are hearing this. They can take action on that, which is amazing. You mentioned about the narrative story. This is something you help people come up with. Let's talk about that for a moment. How do you come up with a good narrative story? What are the key components to include in that, if there is any?
I think with a brand narrative story, you really want to think about why, the why. So you want people to think about why would actually click, because I'm always about marketing. So why are you going to click through to get more information, right? So when I'm working to craft that, the things that are important are who you are as a business. Sometimes it's why you named your business what you did. Sometimes it's as simple as, okay, I always use the example, if you look at some really remarkable brands, I love Tom's. That's one of the brands I love. I love their shoes. I'm not trying to promote them. But what makes them unique is their story is their owner really saw a need for something in other countries of giving back. He had a passion for it. And, oh, wow, I can sell some shoes that are comfortable and nice, but it also feeds my passion to give back to the community. So, it's a great, oh, I get it. And if you have a similar passion, you find it, you can attach to that. So I try to help clients figure out what's the unique thing about you? Why, what is that thing? So you have to really dig deep. It's not an easy process. A lot of businesses are going to say, oh my gosh, well, it's about my brand, it's about my product or my service. It's not. It's about why a customer would want to work with you. So I ask the question, think about when you're writing your narrative, what is so unique about how you approach doing business that makes you someone people want to work with? One of the key things in B2B, and I think it's the same for entrepreneurs and small business owners, B2B is a relationship. It's relationship, selling. So when you have to think about that, even from the consumer side, how are people attached to my business? What about the experience that they get? What is that, that feeling they get? So it goes back to that brand voice and tone. What is the experience? That's your narrative, and then you flip it. This is what we offer you, because people want to purchase an experience more than they want to purchase a product. I want it to be able to be, seamless experience when I do business with you. I want to know that what you say you're going to give me, I get it. I get it on time. It comes the way I want. And right now, a lot of the things that we're selling are virtual, or either, they're being shipped. So I want to know that experience is good for me. And the one key thing I also share in the narrative is talk about what you do when a customer has a bad experience. So what is your commitment to that? What is your commitment to the customer? Because one of the things that's very important, and I always tell my brand clients this, you will have a customer that has a bad experience. But what will save you from that is how you turn that experience around. Because they will remember more about what you did to fix it than how it got broken. And that's what you have to always focus on. So also make that a part of your story. What is your commitment? What are your values? That's your narrative. That's how you bring it to life.
Outstanding. This is great. Really good stuff. Let's switch gears for a moment and talk about you as a business owner. Because in a moment we will be giving people an opportunity to come and work with you. But what is the mindset that keeps you going in the midst of a pandemic when there's a lot of uncertainty? What mindset do you have? What that you're keeping that keeps driving you, so to speak?
When we first started with dealing with this pandemic and seeing the shift of, everything coming, home, I'll be honest, I thought, wow, things are going to slow down for me because people are going to be, really focused on just how they're surviving. But what I've realized is people are focused on thriving right now. They really want to thrive. And so a lot of the things that they may have put on the back burner when it came to building their brand or building a new business became more of a reality because they looked at it more so as, I need to make sure that I have maybe some people multiple streams of income, or this is the time for me to really focus on that one thing I've wanted to do that I haven't been able to do. And surprisingly, the clients that I have had come to me and I've signed on with me in the last probably 3 months are those clients. I have a mix of clients who have an established business and they realize I want to scale it and I want to make it maybe more on demand or where it's accessible so that I'm not, dealing with a brick and mortar structure all the time. It can be more of a virtual. Then I have some clients that have said, you know what? I tried a couple of things because I've been dabbling with wanting to do X. And now I need to get a framework and get a structure because I'm realizing people are asking me for this. I have some amazing clients. One is a health and wellness nutritionist who decided to start doing virtual cooking online during this time. And then she realized, oh my goodness, people are now asking me for private events and it is propelled. And okay, now I've got to figure out how I take this brand and I really build it out and I make it where it's scalable and I can grow because now, it's different. People don't come face to face for a dinner party. Now they're wanting it here and they want healthy eating and they want, things that will, feel good type of meals for families. And so, seeing her evolve has been amazing. And that's what really has gotten me excited and keeps me thriving because I see the drive by clients and even, the individuals in my masterclass now. They all are at different levels of their business, but they are like, this is the time to push it forward instead of just sitting and saying, okay, I'm just going to pause because everything in the world around me has shifted.
Awesome. Now, for those who wants to work with you, where can they find you or maybe attend one of your master classes?
So I will be launching a new masterclass in September, and but they can find out about me and more information on that on my website, which is DeSheliaSpann.com. And you can always connect with me on social media. So I am always on all social channels, and I do respond to everyone. But that's one of the easiest ways. And I also offer one-on-one coaching. So brand coaching is big for me, and I love to work with brands who want to take it to the next level.
It's beautiful. Well, DeShelia, thank you so much for being on the show here. Any final thoughts on branding? Maybe something that you want to share with our audience that I've not asked you about, but this is what they need.
Yeah, I would say, for the listeners, do not get discouraged if you are struggling with your brand. You're not the first person to do it. It happens. You can always come back from a bad branding launch. And you can relaunch your business in any way. So never give up on your brand. Seek, the right training, insight, and information to help you. And there's nothing wrong with asking for help to grow and brand your business.
Absolutely. Nothing wrong in asking for help, not only in business, but in any area of our lives. Just reach out. Somebody once said, asking is a proof of humility. And people